Today, I want to talk to you about the power to create. Because I think this is key, that when we understand that we have the power to create our lives, we step out of victimhood and we stepped into that creative nature, and that creative nature gives us great joy. You see, our ability to demonstrate depends on our understanding of mental laws, the power behind them, and how to use them. You see, this is what takes us out of the victimhood. Takes us out of that where I'm dependent. No, it's about understanding that there are mental laws in the universe, laws that create. Here's the power, here's the law. It's called the law of cause and effect. It's called the law of reciprocity. It's called the law of attraction. Call it anything you want, but there's a law. And what that law simply is, it's the law of belief. Whatever you believe, nature, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, brings it forward. So your life is a living, breathing example of your beliefs at this time. So if you're looking for a different experience, you've got to change your beliefs about life and about yourself. Here's the key thing though. Okay, now you understand there's a mental law. But then, what about why does it work? What's the power behind it? Well, the power behind it is there is one infinite divine power, one infinite divine mind, one infinite, and it created everything out of itself, meaning you and I are, and everyone else in the planet, everyone else in the cosmos is an expression of it. And the very power that created the cosmos is the power that's responding to your belief. That's why the law of belief works, because the power of the universe is backing it. And so when we understand that, we understand the law of belief, we understand the power behind it, now we understand that we use that power by building beliefs that create the life that we want. You see, we are surrounded by a creative atmosphere in which we live, move, and have our being. We cannot escape it. This atmosphere, this thought atmosphere, creates. It doesn't matter where we go, we take it with us. Have you ever noticed how sometimes we think if I just move over here to this job, I won't have the problem with my boss. Then you go there and you have a problem with your boss. Then you go to another job, and then another job, and another job. And every job you go to, you have a problem with your boss. Maybe it's time you start to understand that the problem is not your boss. The problem is who you are being with a boss. Because who you are being is a mental atmosphere, and that atmosphere attracts to you. So as long as you don't change that atmosphere, you're going to attract the same relationship no matter how great the boss might be. It's not the boss. It's you. You have to change for things to change. I'm not saying you have to stay with the one boss, not at all. But if you've had multiple experiences, you might just want to look in the mirror. This law, which is creative, is conscious of our desire, but it has no desire of its own. It has no desire of its own with regard to us or what is best for us. This law simply responds to the nature of our thought, to our beliefs. It doesn't say, oh, Lee, that belief is going to cause you this pain. It doesn't question that. It doesn't say, well, this is going to make you a better human being. It doesn't do that. This law of belief simply gives you what you believe. It's neutral. It has no feelings. It has no insights. It is just infinite creative power, and whatever you feed it, it reflects back to you. And the key thing to remember is, we cannot change the law, but we can redirect it at any moment. That's right. The law creates based on our belief. We can redirect what's being creative by changing our belief. Think about that. How powerful is that if you really knew that if you changed your belief, you would change your life? And what if you really knew that there was an infinite power behind, so that no matter what you believed, you would create? You put those two together and it's an all-powerful way of living. This law, being impersonal, meaning it doesn't judge what you're creating, works the same for everyone. But how it works is up to us. So the key thing to remember is, you may be great. You may start perfecting this and you may be demonstrating all the time because you understand the law, you understand the power behind it, you're using that power to create, and you're saying, why aren't those other people doing it? Here's the key thing. The same power is with them. But where are they in their realization of that power and their embodiment of that power? They may not be ready. They may not be in a place to understand. And your job is not to convince them. If anything, just be an example. That's the best thing you can do, because then they'll say, well, how's that working for Lee? How's that working for Charles? How's that working for Emma? How's it working for anyone? They'll ask the question. Then you can give them the information. This law, which is eternally creating, knows nothing about big or little, good or bad, hard or easy. It only knows what we put into it. So think about it. The very power that created the entire universe, which we cannot even define, is the power that's creating for us. So in it created my fingernail. It created your fingernail. It created a galaxy, a cosmos, the entire universe. It created a single cell. It knows no little, no big. Here's the fascinating thing. Think about this. Your body has more cells in it than the Milky Way. The galaxy, the Milky Way, has stars, planets. That's incredible. And think about this. There are more galaxies in the universe than there are cells in your body. It's unmeasurable. You cannot count, because the universe doesn't end. It is infinite. So this law that's creating only knows what we put into it. And what we put into it, it receives and gives it back. Our ability to demonstrate is based on our ability to use the law. It's the belief in the law and how we choose to use it. Here's the two key words: consciously or unconsciously. Whether we're aware of it or not, we're using the law 24/7, 365. Most of the time, we're using it unconsciously. And the key thing about that is, build habits that serve the highest image for yourself. This way, your unconscious habits are ones that you put in. You've actually installed software that automatically thinks a certain way on certain things. And you're giving that image that you want out there reinforcement. It's just continually being put into the infinite mind. In religious science, which is what I teach, we consciously use the law through spiritual mind treatment. Spiritual mind treatment, you could say, is a form of affirmative prayer. But it is not a prayer that asks, beseeches. No. In this form of prayer, you claim and know there is one infinite. You claim and know that you are one with it. Knowing that you are one with the infinite, you make a declaration of what it is you desire to have your experience, as if it was already demonstrated now. And then what you do is you go into gratitude, giving thanks that you have done it, knowing that it is now coming forth, and then you release all concern. You see, spiritual mind treatment is the process of building a belief that there is a law that creates and that we can use it, and then we provide a clear image and belief in what we desire to experience. So spiritual mind treatment is just a way of using the law. It's a formula to consciously use the law, knowing there's an infinite power, knowing that you are one with it, providing a clear image to it, being grateful that you have done that, and then releasing any doubt. Because in order to have the law work, there cannot be doubt. In belief, there is no doubt. Doesn't matter what you believe, there's no doubt. You believe it. That belief is what creates. You see, all spiritual mind treatment does, it takes place in the mind of the one doing the treatment. Your mind and God's mind, the infinite mind, are the same mind. You just only have access because of the limitedness of your ability to focus on a part of the one mind. But all spiritual mind treatment takes place in the mind of the one doing the treatment. Ergo, you are 100% responsible for your life. You may not, let's say you're 8 or 9, you're not responsible for your beliefs yet, because those beliefs were given to you by mom and dad. But as you mature, as you get older and you understand this, you realize you can change your beliefs. Now you have the ability to be 100% responsible for your life. This is one of the hardest concepts about being in religious science, is that we believe in personal responsibility. And we believe in it because we understand we're not alone. We're a part of the oneness. We're part of all that is. And being a part of all that is, we understand there's a power and we can use that power. And we understand that we use that power through the law of belief. This law creates for you, for me, for everyone, and it never judges us. Why? Because it loves us, and love can never judge. Explore this week. Create the image of who you want to be. Visualize it, speak it, feel it, and live it, and see how your life changes.